emails are great until you realize that AI is just going to make up a response. And it isn't that AI can't come up with a good response, it's that AI doesn't have any context about you, the person you're emailing, or maybe some of the other emails that you've been having with that same person in another email chain. In this video, I'm going to show you what I call the local brain method. You will learn how to build a skill in Claude Cowork that creates a living knowledge base around all the people you communicate with most. It learns your contacts, your projects, your history, so when it drafts a reply, you don't have to edit a thing. I'm a CPA and operator, and I teach businesses and consultants how to use AI to supercharge their day. And I've been really excited to show you this one, because once you understand how this works, you're gonna have a whole ton of ideas on how to use Claude Cowork. I was absolutely blown away at how useful this one was. So let me show you how to build it, because the best part is that you only need to create it one time and then save it as a skill, and then AI will know the context that it needs forever. So I wanted to give you a quick overview of what we're building. And the best part is that you're actually just going to paste in a prompt and it's going to build all of this for you, but I want you to understand what's actually going on here. One of the biggest features about Claude Cowork is that it can read your local files and make local files. And so we can use this to our advantage by creating a local brain, a knowledge base where we can put a bunch of information that we want Claude Cowork to remember. So for here, we want Claude Cowork to remember everything about the people that we've most recently talked with. But the coolest thing about these contact files is that we actually have Claude Cowork create an individual contact file for every single person that we regularly communicate with through our email. That way, it doesn't have to read through our entire email every single time and find out who we're talking about and what we've talked with them most recently. All it has to do is find that person in our files and then grab a summary of all the most recent information that we've talked with them about. This then gives Claude super valuable information to know how exactly we should be responding to their emails or how we should be writing emails to them in the first place. So in other words, it knows what you know and now can make a draft for you that you can then approve and send. And then it's going to auto-update these files based on the message that you just sent. So it really does get smarter with every single email that you send because it knows more and more about the people that you're communicating with and how you communicate with them. I've been absolutely blown away with the types of results that I've been getting with this, and I really can just hit send with a lot of the emails that I'm working with. So to get things started, you're going to need the desktop version of Claude. That will get you access to Claude Chat, Cowork, and Code. And once you have that downloaded, you're going to press this Cowork button at the top. Then you're going to press this plus sign here, go to Connectors, and we're going to add the Gmail connector. And actually a cool update that was just made over the past couple of days, it can now save drafts that you make inside of Claude right into Gmail. So you don't even have to copy and paste anymore. So anything that you do here, you just press send to Gmail and it's going to have a draft ready to go in Gmail. Next, we're going to want to have the folder for our brain to set up all of this information. So click on work in a folder and choose the folder that you'd like to use. I called my folder email brain. Then we'll press allow. Then we're going to copy the entire prompt from the setitup.prompt.md file and paste it into Claude Cowork. Now you can create this prompt on your own and try doing it based off of the workflow that we just talked about, but I did go through this for a few hours and really perfect this thing. So if you'd like this file, you'll find it in a link below to my free school community where you can download this prompt plus instructions on how to build all of this in a document. But as I explained before, basically what this prompt does is it's setting up our knowledge base. It's going to ask us how far back do we want to scan through our emails, and I'd suggest doing about 90 days max. You can do longer if you want, depending on how many emails you get, but it can take a really long time if it goes through a ton of emails, or you can do a shorter amount of time just to test this thing out. Then it's going to read through your sent emails, build the contact files, and it gives an example of what the file should look like. It's going to have a quick summary for each person at the top, and then have our communication history, and then have some information on when they were just CC'd on an email, and then some general rules on how to build those files. And then here's the file system that it's going to build. It's going to have our knowledge base. It's going to have a folder for all of our company documents that we just want to dump in there from all of our personal notes and such like that. It's also going to have a folder for all of our contacts. That's going to have the first name, last name, and their role as well. So that's our prompt. And before we hit let's go, the last thing that we need to do is add the related skills to this task. We have two skills that we're going to need. We're going to have the email knowledge base updater and the email reply with context skill. So the first one is the email knowledge base updater. It's going to be the prompt that tells Claude how to keep our brain up to date with the most recent information from all the contacts that we have. And the second one is going to tell it how to retrieve that information when we need email context. It's going to point out when to go to those files and how to go through them and what information to use when it uses it. So to add those, we're just going to go to the bar on the top left, and now we're actually going to go to Customize. This is a recent change from Claude. Then we'll just drag each of those skills in one at a time. Once those are in, we're ready to go, and we'll just hit Let's Go. And you can see it's starting to go through those questions that I talked about earlier. So that's first question is just how many days back do we want to go? I'm just going to go back for the past 30 days because this is just a tutorial, and now it's starting to do its thing. And you can see over here on the right side the type of progress that it's making and all the steps that it's going to go through. And it's also cool to read through its thinking as it goes through. You can see when you press down on that thinking, you can see where it's going, where it's searching through emails and what it's doing to get through those emails. And it has the first batch of 50. Okay, really cool. So it gave me an entire list of all the people that it found and the people that it wants to make profiles for. And it also told me who it skipped, which is helpful as well. So we can really customize this to what we need it to be. It asks if we need to remove anyone from the list, if there's anyone that was skipped that we want to make sure we add them back, and then also if there's any corrections that we need to make. So for this one, we'll just reply and say this looks all good. And now it's moving on to the next step of building and presenting the contact list. Then next we'll be building those contact files for each confirmed contact. And like it says, this is the part that can take a few minutes as it reads through all of the emails to make sure that it has the proper context and it can create the files properly. And check this out, it says it's going to use parallel task agents to speed it up significantly. That's really cool. That means it's going to use multiple agents to do this at the same time, so it's not just one writing by itself. It could be several. When I did this in the past, I think it spun up 6 for me, which was really cool. And there it is, it completed it. So I'll pull up my demo email brain so you can look through it and see what it looks like, and I'll also show you a quick example of this in action. So here's my demo file with all the different contacts that it made. And you can see that it has the name and then what their role is, whether they're a vendor, a partner, a team member, which is really awesome. And then if you click on one of these, you can see what's going on the inside, where it has the name of the person, the summary of who they are, what their email is, and the last communication that I made with them, and then a history of their communications with them as well, which is really cool, really helpful, and should give really good context to Claude when we're trying to make a response to this person in the future. Then if you go to the top, you can see this company file where you can paste all of your notes and other relevant information that could be helpful. So let's test this out by pressing new task. So let's make sure that it's connected to that folder that we were using, and we'll press allow, and we'll ask it to help us write an email. And if you watch my last video on how to create a skill that uses your tone and voice, you'll see that it's going to pull from that skill so that this email is written with our exact tone and voice that we would normally write with our emails. So you really don't have to do any editing at all before you send these emails. So we'll say, help me write an email to Victor Lang asking if I can get status updates in a meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. So you can see that it's grabbing the skill, the email reply with context skill. It's also going to load my email voice skill, which is great, and then also check the calendar for tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's going to realize that I don't have the calendar connected, but you can connect the calendar as well, so you can have even more of a hands-off experience. To do that, you just do the same thing as earlier. You just hit that plus sign, connectors, and then you add the Google Calendar connection, which is great. Okay, it's done, and check this out. It says that it noticed that we had an existing draft to Victor about meeting tomorrow, but it said 9 a.m. and we mentioned 10 a.m. in our prompt, so it has a new fresh draft for us. But it also thought to tell us that we already had a draft from before, which is really helpful context. And it looks like it's a really good email written with my voice, asking if we can meet at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and for the status on the thruster and housing pricing, which is really cool because it was able to pull from that context that we got from earlier based on my other emails. Even though I didn't mention those things, it knew that I'd probably want to get a status update on those two things because I said that the meeting was going to be about a status update. And check this out at the end. It gives us some context for things that we might want to talk with Victor about that wasn't appropriate to put in the email, but we'll want to think about during the meeting for tomorrow. It says that there's an open question on whether Helix can hold the March 22nd delivery date, and says that tomorrow would be a good chance to get clarity on that, which is awesome. Really, really helpful information to get us prepared for that meeting. Then it also suggests that it can delete that unsent draft for us, as well as create the new draft in Gmail, which is great. So I'll ask it to at least create that new draft for us so we can see it right in Gmail. So I'll say, looks great, create the draft for me. We'll press allow, and it says done, and the draft is ready to review in Gmail, so I can just send it. And here it is in our email, all ready to go. Really cool. Last thing, we're going to go back to Claude Cowork to answer one more question. It's asking if we want to save this exchange to Victor's contact file for next time. That way he can have it in memory. So we'll hit yes if we decided to send the email so we could have that remembered for us. And with that, it's done, and it should be ready to go anytime you need it within Claude Cowork. Remember to like and subscribe for more AI business learnings like these, and to hit up my free school community so you can get all the templates that we used today. I'll catch you in the next one.